Alright. Sorry, I updated the board. We should be good to go. So, the idea and the concept behind the Hag Witch, if you guys haven't fought it, is somebody's going to get in the pot, and you probably just got to let them go. Odds are you're going to have a better chance at just DPS focusing down the boss and letting anybody go that's going to get pulled into the pot, because there's not a lot you can do with that. Won't need a key for sure. So moving on to the Hag Witch. Heading home, be back soon. Okay, who? See you in a little bit, brother. Alright. So here we go. So thankfully, we at least got the Jester buff. So he gets thrown into the pot, not the end of the world. Why you want to bring a Hellion, and why it's important that you bring a Hellion. I'm just doing a tutorial on the Hag Witch ice. So the reason you want to bring Hellions, guys, is check out the fact that they can hit back row with if it bleeds in both these spots. So because in the front two slots, as you can tell here, they can both hit back row, it allows you to DPS focus her down. Her bleed resist is the worst of her abilities. So if you look at Blight, her Blight resist is way up there. So Plague Doctor is absolutely shitty to take on this fight, unless you're going to buff the piss out of him with trinkets. But then why bother? If he's not doing straight damage, he's not very viable in this fight. So if you take a look at the other abilities, Yelp really doesn't matter. Iron Swan, this person right here in the front slot, they can use Iron Swan to DPS back row. The only reason you'd take that is because it has a higher crit mod, but the accuracy isn't there. So you're going to typically try and stack bleed. This is why if you bring, instead of the hairpin, and you bring that pendant that gives you the bleed, the percentage chance to bleed, it works really well. I think it's actually worthwhile to keep two spots just for the boss fight where you're swapping out those trinkets. I should have done that just to show you, but it's okay. Zebra hoedown. Damp, you make me moist. Okay. You're welcome. First of all, you are welcome. I'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. And then I'll go ahead and continue. You are going to bring the Occultist to heal for 1, because he can still do damage. Which, if we look, he can still damage the third slot. Right here. So he can still do damage. If he gets thrown into the pot, it's going to be a bad time. No doubt about that. So if he gets thrown into the pot, the idea is the Jester will move up a slot. And then the Jester can stack bleed as well. You're going to use Slice Off, because again, third slot, that's what she takes up. He'll move up, and then he'll be able to use the Slice Off. So I probably should actually highlight this and use it as a tutorial for the Hag Witch, because a lot of people ask me questions. So somebody remind me to tell who that we need to cut that and create a highlight for it. Alright, moving on. Now I'm going to get terrible RNG and get killed, everybody. So enjoy this. Well, maybe not. 50 right off the bat. And half her health is gone. Oh. That's actually a win, because at least that one got to attack. So everybody moves up. DPS, full DPS Onyxia style. Notice we're not touching the pot. At this point, she's already bleeding, so we could go higher crit chance. It's alright, we didn't get it, but that's okay. She's only got 39 health left. Now they're going to stun. Oh no, that didn't stun. Alright, so usually here I'm going to buff, but because she's down to 35 health already, we could stack bleed. You can also do that. I mean, we have enough crit, so let's just DPS. Of course he misses. Of course he would do that. There's another crit. Good. We didn't even run the torchlight down. You can imagine she'd already been dead. I mean, realistically, she'd been long gone. Alright, and then now, of course, she gets a good roll on her speed. He gets a debuff, but that he gets a debuff. That's the best guy we could have had get debuffed, and it's all she wrote. That, boys and girls, is how you do the Hag Witch. So, dust my hands off here. Fight's done. End of lecture. Anyone have any questions?